going to Colorado was like a bit of a challenge in terms of like making sure she didn't find out any of what we're doing. So for example, I had like the ring in my pocket and shit's fucking expensive, man. And so like, I'm not going to trust it in my bags or anything like that, you know? But going through TSA, obviously you have to take out like everything in your pockets and stuff, right? So she was fine with me, and I had to make sure that I took the ring, like snuck it into the bin without her seeing it, like hid it in the jacket or whatever. And then just like hoping and praying that when the TSA guy was going through everything that he didn't like accidentally drop it from the jacket or something.
This is modern day Hippie. We are your homies who've done nearly every drug under the sun. Over 600 psychedelic trips and nearly every kind of bender you can possibly imagine have armed us with a universe of knowledge. I'm Yuki, and with my co-host Reggie, we talk about how we do drugs in a responsible, safe, and fun way to improve our lives. Before we dive in, and so we don't get sued, a quick legal disclaimer.
This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. Our goal is to educate and inform others about the realities of substance use in an engaging and entertaining format. We share these experiences so you can learn from them without trying them yourself. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to attempt to recreate anything found in this episode or in any of our other content. We are not confessing to any acts stated in this podcast. The content in this episode should not be treated as factual or real in any way.
With that, we welcome you through our portal and hope you enjoy the show. What's up, hippies? Hope you're having a vibey day so far. On today's episode, we're going into what is one of the most important life events in Reggie's life, both his life so far and I think and the rest of his life. So we're going to dive into that today. And of course, knowing us, you already know that there were some drugs involved in this one. So we're going to get into the story, we're going to get into the background, and it's going to be a freaking blast. So Reggie, you want to start off by telling us this awesome life event that you just experienced?
Thanks, Yuki. Yeah, man. As you know, I recently got engaged and it was, the proposal was something that I have been planning for a while, and it ended up going way better than I expected. So backing up a bit, my girlfriend and I have been together for a while, and well, she's now my fiance, but I guess that's while planning it. My girlfriend and I have been together for a while, and I just want to spend the rest of my life with her, madly in love with her. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it right. And I don't know if I've ever told this. Actually, you know what? I definitely haven't told the story on the pod of like when we fell in love with each other, but we definitely were doing some shrooms whenever we fell for each other. And so I thought, since we were on shrooms when we first fell for each other, it would be great if we were on shrooms whenever I proposed to her, like it only felt appropriate.
Truly.
So I knew she wanted to do something special, and she's not like the type of girl to want to do anything too urban. You know what I mean? Like one of the ideas floating around was like, oh, you should do it at the top of like a skyscraper or something. And I'm like, no, like she wouldn't like that. And I also knew that she wanted it to be intimate. So just me and her, but she still would want to tell people, if that makes sense. So pretty much what we ended up doing, and for everyone else's context here, Yuki actually helped me plan this. So that was super clutch, man. I appreciate you for that.
Dude, my pleasure. I'm so grateful that I got to be a part of this with you, because this is a big deal, man. Like I'm excited to have your now fiance and future wife and in my life as well, through you for years and decades to come.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, so we ended up booking a trip to Colorado, and I didn't really tell her what the trip was for. I was like, oh yeah, like we're just gonna visit some people in Colorado.
Why Colorado of all places?
Dude, it's just because it's beautiful there, and like I knew that she would like really like the views, the snow, the weather, and also, let's be honest, dude, the weed. Like it's just like super easy access, and they have some good shit. Plus, like on a different note from that, like it's just easier. It was just easier for me to convince her to go on this spontaneous random trip with me to Colorado as opposed to like other places, because like she's been to Colorado before, she's more comfortable there, and there's like we can just go to a dispensary and smoke or whatever, and like we don't have to like worry about it. So we go to Colorado, right? And we have like all these things planned out, but she doesn't know about anything. And even just going to Colorado was like a bit of a challenge in terms of like making sure she didn't find out any of what we're doing. So for example, I had like the ring in my pocket, and shit's fucking expensive, man. And so like, I'm not going to trust it in my bags or anything like that, you know? But going through TSA, obviously you have to take out like everything in your pockets and stuff, right? So she was fine with me, and I had to make sure that I took the ring, like snuck it into the bin without her seeing it, like hid it in the jacket or whatever. And I'm just like hoping and praying that when the TSA guy was going through everything, that he didn't like accidentally drop it from the jacket or something. Which
Dude.
I was so nervous at one point because he picked up the jacket like in a clump and then like moved it to another bin for some reason, I guess just to consolidate bins. And I was like, fuck. Like, like, don't let the ring fall out. She's definitely gonna see it. It's in a bright red box.
Yeah.
Like,
Little did that TSA agent know the beautiful, wholesome secret that he was holding in his
for real.
hands
They
at that
probably found
moment.
out through the X-ray.
Yeah, dude, I wonder, dude, it would have been so funny if the agent looking at the screen was like, "Oh, guys, look at this, you know, because like
Right?
I don't know, from what I've seen, like just random passerbys get so excited when there's an engagement happening around them because it's like it doesn't happen super often, and it's super exciting. You know, you can feel the love, you can feel the excitement, so it's that kind of shit is euphoric and it rubs off on people.
It is. But yeah, so we got it through TSA and everything without her noticing. And then I wanted the proposal to be one of the first things we did because this was like a weekend trip. So I wanted the proposal to be one of the first things we did so that then I could like surprise her with everyone else who was going to be in town that she didn't know about, right? So like you and then her best friend and like some of our other friends that were coming to support. So we get into town, we get picked up from the airport by some friends, and then I have them drop us off like on the cliff of the mountain, right? Or the cliff of the trail, the star of the trail, for the pretty much the view I wanted to get. And it was, I don't know if y'all are familiar with this. I don't even know if this is like a crazy hype mountain or not, but it's just a place that like a friend had introduced me to a while ago, and I really fell in love with the view that they have. It's called Mount Falcon, and you could pretty much see like the entire city of Denver from the side of this mountain, right? So I was like, this is perfect. It's just such a gorgeous view. Like I'm gonna propose up top of this mountain, like like with a crazy view, right? And so we go, they drop us off at the mountain, and then it's just me and her. I'm like, yeah, just pick us up in like 3 hours or something, or 3 or 4 hours. I don't remember. I wasn't sure if we'd have service there. And of course, we brought shrooms with us to, like on the plane and stuff. Luckily, those chocolates are a little bit more discreet.
Oh, 100%.
And we took a bunch of shrooms and started the hike, right? And, you know, of course, I'm like nervous and anticipation this whole time, like just like knowing what's coming. And she has no idea what's going on. And we're just kind of hiking. And to be completely honest, like I'd been on Mount Falcon before on a certain trail, but when I was on it, like before, it was like a few years ago, and it was definitely a very different trail than the one that I went on. And honestly, I had no idea where I was. I just asked my friend to take me to Mount Falcon, and this is where they took me. And like most of the trails were actually closed, so I was winging it super hard in terms of like where we were going. But like I was like, I know you could see the city from the side of this mountain. And
You
so
also didn't mention that it was literally fucking snowing on the mountain.
Oh yeah,
like
dude,
that was kind of gnarly. Like it wasn't like crazy deep snow, and that mountain's not super high up. Like it's relatively chill, so it wasn't crazy. But it was literally snowing, which is pretty wild.
Dude, yeah. And honestly, the snow on shrooms was fucking badass. Especially because it was like actively snowing. So the snow was still falling from the sky and shit. And you could still like see it going everywhere. And it was still sticking to the ground and stuff. And so a lot of the trails were closed because of the snow and the weather. But we didn't really care. We still just kind of kept going like beyond the signs that said that you needed special equipment or something. And it was like, whatever. We were fine. And it was pretty cool, man. Even just the hike. I remember like my girlfriend had these glasses that were like these heart-shaped pink glasses. So like you just put them on, everything's pink. And dude, I didn't realize how badass those were on shrooms until I not only put them on, but until I had them on for a bit and then I took them off, dude. That was freaking nuts because when you take those glasses off, like for me, everything turned green. And because of the shrooms, I think everything stayed green like for a while. Like it was like, I just had like a different like color filter on my actual vision, so it was really pleasant. But yeah, man, like we were pretty wiped. Like in term, like we were tripping pretty hard. Honestly, we took a decent amount from, and we just kept hiking. And we'd stop by like one view, and I'd be like, no, like let's keep on going. Like if I didn't like it, after like a couple of tries, I guess let's call it, of like little spots that we found. I found the perfect spot, dude. And it was gorgeous. You could see everything. Like, you could see the entire city of Denver. Like, the snow was like falling at the right pace. Like, everything just felt right. You could feel it in my heart, you know?
Wow.
And so we were chilling up at the watchtower and we smoke a joint, right? And as we're smoking the joint, like right when I notice that it's about to like finish, it's about to get put out, I just like take off my shoe and I put my phone in it and start recording because like I wanted to like bring some kind of phone stand or something, but like I like couldn't figure out, like I couldn't find a good one, honestly, that like I was comfortable with like on like bringing with me and stuff like that, you know, on a plane and everything. And also I just couldn't figure out how to like get a good way to hold my phone that wasn't obvious, like on the hike, like before we got there, you know? So I made a decision. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna like figure out, I'm gonna prop it up somewhere, figure it out. And I was like, I'm gonna put it in my shoe. So put the phone in my shoe, started recording. And then she's like, oh, like, what are you doing? And then the joint, we just smoked the joint. So the shrooms were hitting extra hard. We were feeling it. The visuals were kicking in a little bit. The emotions were there. The nervousness was there. The adrenaline was there. And I just got down on one knee and I told her, I was like, hey, I love you so much. You're my soulmate. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? And she said yes.
Hey, hippies. We hope you're enjoying the show so far. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and are having a good time, you need to come over to YouTube and subscribe to the Modern Day Hippie YouTube channel. We publish exclusive video content, and I promise you the experience is richer and more interesting. So if you're getting any value at all, stop what you're doing, open up the YouTube app, and subscribe at Modern Day Hippie. If you're watching this on YouTube and aren't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Go press subscribe. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, it was great. You know, she cried a little bit and it was cute. She loves the ring. And it was just really happy hike back down.
Dude, how did you feel in that moment when you like got down on one knee and you're just like tripping and shit?
Dude, it was definitely one of those moments where like you realize like this is a big life moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like a significant thing that's happening. And I am so grateful that honestly, like, I was able to do it, not just like in terms of like going to this location and like getting the ring and whatever, but also just grateful that first of all, that like obviously that I met my girlfriend and that like we found each other because I do truly believe that she is my soulmate, but also that everything went well. Like, I was really nervous that everything wasn't going to go well. So like, I'd be lying if I didn't say that. Like, I was kind of thinking about that too, but like leading up to it, that is like in the actual moment itself, like it was just like fever dream, man. I mean, I'm sure like the shrooms and weed like only amplified that, but it was straight up like it was surreal. It did not feel real. It literally felt fake. But it was great, man.
Dude, yeah, no, I'm just like realizing and thinking through how you literally experienced one of the most powerful moments and emotions of anyone's lifetime in that state of mind, which I don't think a lot of people get to do. Like, that is a truly once in a lifetime experience. Like, full stop.
Dude, it was, yeah, honestly it was, especially on the shrooms, man, because like they just really increase your empathy. So like whenever she started getting emotional, obviously I started getting emotional.
Aww.
And it was just really special, like, and especially for us because of like, you know, how we fell in love, like fell for each other really, like on shrooms, honestly. So like it just felt like it was this whole full circle thing, tying it back to that. And it was just super grateful that I was able to have that moment with her. And yeah, man, but it gets better. I don't know about better, but it gets kind of cool still. So we're we spent some time up there on the top of the mountain, just like, you know, being in love and shit. And then we're like, all right, let's hike back. So we start hiking back. And obviously the whole hike back was just like bliss, right? Like, we're just like enjoying each other's company, like just like emotions are at all-time high in the best way. And when we're getting close to the bottom, she's like, no, I feel so bad. Like, I really want to tell people, but I don't have my phone. Like, I can't call anyone. And I was like, well, you don't need your phone. You could tell them right now. And then I pointed up, and that's when you and then her best friend and some other of our friends were just waiting there. And I don't know how she did not even notice, honestly. But I mean, you guys did a good job of hiding behind the rocks and shit until I said that. But yeah, she freaked out, man. I mean, you saw it. She freaked out whenever she realized that her best friend was there and you guys were there. And I think that just made it so much more special because like we got to spend that intimate time together one-on-one, but then also we can still share this life event, really, like this important life event with the people that we care about. And
Dude,
yeah.
it's exactly what you said earlier that she wanted. Like she wanted the proposal to be intimate and personal and very chill. And then she also wanted to share it with people, right after. And that's exactly what you made happen, dude. That's freaking incredible.
Yeah, with y'all's help, man. I'm grateful, man. It went way better than I thought, to be honest, especially with the surprises, because man, I'm not gonna lie, I was so close to slipping up so many times about like the fact that I was gonna propose and the fact that you guys were gonna be there. Like thankfully I was able to keep it all like a secret and like she didn't find out. But yeah, I was cutting it pretty close sometimes. I almost slipped up multiple times, but I did, so that's what matters.
No, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was
honestly,
cool because yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, I'm also impressed that things went so smoothly on the day of. Like, I know if I were in your shoes and I was trying to organize something like that while tripping pretty hard, it would just, I don't know, it would distract me. It would have been tough. But like, I feel like if anyone can pull it off, it's you, and you fucking did it perfectly.
Thanks. Dude, it was perfect. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, and the level that we were tripping at, like we were tripping super hard, but like I wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I mean? It just made like everything, all the emotions just that much more intense. And it was really cool because then whenever like we met up with y'all, I know like y'all brought some like balloons and like some McDonald's, which is like
McDonald's,
one of my
baby.
favorite things to eat. Like, and it was just like we took pictures and like did the whole thing. And yeah, man. And then you set up that dinner for everybody afterwards. So we went to this really nice Italian place, which damn dude, I'm still thinking about that pasta.
It was pretty fire. It was pretty fire. Yeah. And honestly, it was awesome that we got to all spend the weekend together. Like that was fantastic. It was just a nice, like wholesome, chill weekend. And when I say wholesome, it's not that there were not drugs involved. We did all do a bit of Molly at some point.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Yeah.
but it was like the vibes and the energy were very like mellow and wholesome. You're at the club and the music is thumping, but you've got nothing left in the tank. So what do? Sniff some cacao. Yup, you heard that right. Sniff some cacao. It's the hottest new trend in the club and party scene. One bum-sized sniff of raw chocolatey powder contains the caffeine equivalent to a half cup of coffee, and boom, it hits instantly. And the best part is you can now sniff cacao anytime, anywhere. Right out in the open, in front of the DJ booth or the stage, even at the VIP table with your friends. Now, how does that happen without drawing unwanted attention? Snogo's spring-loaded bump straws make it possible. These classy, triple mirror polished bump straws are the safest, most discreet way to enjoy sniffing cacao. In fact, you've most likely already seen people wearing Snogo's bump straws as pendants around their necks without even knowing it. Discover why sniffing cacao using Snogo bump straws is being called the biggest revolution in partying since the invention of rock and roll. Jump on over to snogostraws.com to learn more. That's SNOGOSTRAWS.com and use discount code MDH15 at checkout for 15% off your entire order.
Yeah, dude, let's talk about the rest of the weekend for a bit.
Yeah, man.
So the next day, as you know, was one of our good friends' birthdays, and he was there for the proposal and stuff. And so we're like, we ought to do something for him. So we set up, or you made a reservation for go-kart racing for all of us.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude, when you told me that you like made a reservation for go-karting, I didn't realize how legit of a place you booked it at, because those go-karts legitimately went over 40 miles per hour, dude, or up to 40 miles per hour. Like, holy shit, dude.
I do
Like,
not
that
fuck
was
around.
intense, bro.
I do not fuck around with my go-karts, bro.
Dude, that was intense because of all the drugs we were doing, honestly. Like, more than half of us took shrooms before we went go-karting, dude.
Yeah,
Which was lit, by the way.
yeah, and I will caveat it with, I don't know about you, but for me it was like pretty microdose. It was extremely light and subtle. So yeah, if I was tripping fully, like holy fuck, I would have crashed the hell out of that
that would have
go-kart
been very
probably.
different. No,
Although
yeah, we
I
all
will
took
say,
microdoses on that
to
day.
be fair, I have driven my car in like more trippy or rolly states, and it's always times when I'm like, I know if I focus on driving, like I'll be fine. So I guess give myself a little bit of credit back, but I do not at all advocate doing that. Definitely, if I'm fucked up from like a rave, I will go and sit in my car for a good while,
Right.
and also plan what drugs I'm doing and the timeline, so that if I do plan on driving home, then it all kind of works out pretty well. Anyway.
Agreed. Yeah, no, honestly, if it was anything more than the microdose, I wouldn't have been down. But also, like, we Yeah. I just wouldn't have been down because that shit was fucking intense. And actually, my fiance also took a microdose, but her tolerance is lower, and so she was feeling it a little bit more. And she, after the first race, dude, she tapped out. Like she didn't. We had 3 races booked. She only did the first one because she was like, "Yeah, that was too much for me." And
No, dude, it's also
and
a
her
lot like even if you're sober and it's your first time like karting and like proper go-karts like that, it's pretty intense. Like definitely
dude,
takes
yeah.
some
And then
getting used to.
it does, yeah. And her best friend that was there, she also took a microdose. But I think she didn't do shrooms the day before like me and my fiance did, so her tolerance was the lowest out of all of us. And she told me that she did all 3 races, but she was like, "Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like I was driving, I thought I was killing it, I thought I was doing so good." And then I got the results after and realized I was one of the slowest ones. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, they'll do that to you." But also just in general, like what you're saying, those carts are like not a joke. Like people can think that they're killing it and they're not killing it, but racing is just like that, just fraction of a second, you know.
Indeed,
Like
indeed,
you and
dude.
I,
As
like
we
we're
found out,
yeah. How close were we? Like
we
1 or
were
something away
we
from each other,
we were
seconds.
we were 2/100ths of a second off for our fastest laps on one of the races,
Yeah, that's
which is like
at that point it's just a weight difference. Like at that point, like you're lighter than me, and like
oh,
there you
straight
go.
up, straight up, no, straight up, straight up, straight up. That's definitely a big factor.
Yeah. But yeah, go karting was super fun. And then after go karting, we all went to Meow Wolf. It's like you want to talk about it? You're better at explaining it than I am because
Yeah,
you've been a few
yeah,
times.
yeah. Meowth is this super unique place. It's like imagine a museum made literally for people who are like tripping or on drugs. And the reason I say that is because the museum itself, instead of having like, exhibits or statues or paintings, it just has this like these super immersive art installations where it's like every room like itself is the art, and it'll have like interesting statues and like buttons and lights you can interact with. And this entire place is non-linear. So it's not like, you start at point A, you go to point B, whatever, like you see everything. No, like they just dump you in the middle of this place that is literally like in the 3rd or 4th floor of this building. And it looks like a like street corner, but from like another planet. Like there's all these little like shops and like alien languages.
It literally looks like this, dude. Like my background and my hat. Like that's like the best way to describe it, I think.
Basically the Santa Fe Meowth, which is the only other one I've been to. You walk into this giant like warehouse, and literally to enter the experience, the front literally looks like a like suburban home, like literally like
Wow,
a
that's
house in our
cool.
neighborhood. And then you enter the home and things are a little bit weird, but then to go through like, where there's like a forest and all crazy shit, you literally open the refrigerator and you have to like walk through the tunnel in the refrigerator to get into the experience. So that's just
Damn,
like a different
that's sick.
flavor. Yeah. And there's 4 locations of it around the US. Each one's totally different, and each one also has like a storyline and puzzles and things like that. And so actually, since my girlfriend and I had been before not too long ago, this time we got this little thing called a Q card, which it's a card where usually you pay like, I think like $2 extra, but it basically like creates this like game / like puzzle / scavenger hunt around this entire like complex where you learn more about like the story and you basically like take part in the story. So we honestly had a freaking blast just like nerding out about that stuff.
Dude, no, that was lit. Y'all were like unlocking Easter eggs and shit. And I know
Dude,
like I
straight
talked to
up.
like a few of I call them NPCs, but they're just like the employees. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but they like pretend to be NPCs like straight up, and they give you
Yep,
little
yep.
clues on like where to find secret rooms. It was really cool. And what made it even cooler, in my opinion,
Yeah.
was that a few of us took a bunch of Molly before we went in. So you could just kind of like feel everything. And there were some exhibits that like you can like, I don't know if you were supposed to be touching them or not, but like I saw other people touching them and they felt cool. So I mean, on Molly, everything felt cool, but that was really cool, an experience. And yeah, we did that. And then we also, I forgot to mention, we had booked this Airbnb for the weekend that was just this really dope spot in Denver that had like this hot tub that fits like 6 people, and like a pool table, an outdoor like campfire area where like you can like smoke or whatever, and like a bunch of rooms. Like it was just like plenty of space, good vibes, and a barbecue pit for like barbecuing, or a grill rather. Sorry. And we took advantage of everything, dude.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all sat in the hot tub,
And
passed around a
got
joint and a bong.
super fucking high. Dude, I remember at
Yeah.
some point, it's like there were 2 joints going in the rotation and you're just hitting them both at the same time. I'm like, bro, that's That's too high of a level of stoner for me. Like I can't hang, but you guys are fucking
Dude,
crushing it.
I don't know if it's like just like the adrenaline of like being around friends and like having just got engaged and everything like that. But I smoked like a fucking train when we were in Denver.
Yeah.
And I still feel like I've gotten like I regularly get higher at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like
Maybe.
at least like I'll get so high that I pass out like at home versus like when we were all in Colorado, like I just couldn't like I could keep on smoking. And it was like
Yeah. Do you
I
do,
just
do,
I don't
do
know,
you
man. like
yeah
like it just kept going. Like
do you think that has anything to do with the quality of the weed? Not like better or worse, but maybe like, Colorado one, since it's legal, like they kind of smooth it out. Because as someone who doesn't smoke super often, it's like I definitely noticed the Colorado weed. Like I wasn't getting as like high in a sense of like getting like obliterated or uncomfortable. Like I was definitely high,
right.
but it felt like smoother. I kind of want to say.
No, I agree actually. And I was thinking about that too. I was like, is this like a cleaner high to where like I can just keep on smoking? Or maybe it's because we had some sativas in the mix. I don't know, man. Who knows what it was, but it was cool because we could just keep on smoking, and we got pretty fucking obliterated. And it was cool that we had so many people in the hot tub because we like overflowed it a few times, just like when everyone's sitting in it. But that was a fucking vibe, honestly.
Dude, yeah, no, it was awesome. It was such a pleasant weekend. Like we got to like sleep in. Like our friend like ran the whole like barbecue for his birthday, which was cool. Ate a lot of
Oh
good
yeah,
food. Like,
fucking
dude,
feast,
it
dude.
was
We
good
grilled
vibes all
so
around.
much food.
So much food, so much food. But yeah, this is like the much more intimate version of like a mansion party. And all of you guys know by now that I love a good mansion party. And this is just a different iteration of that. Like it's beautiful, wonderful thing.
Yeah, great vibes. And then
Yeah.
to top it off, on the last day, we went to the botanical gardens and just like chilled, enjoyed each other's company before we all went home. And yeah, man,
Dude,
it was dope. Grateful for you, grateful for everyone who was there, and grateful that I'm engaged now, and I'm super
dude.
grateful for it and happy. And I just couldn't be happier, man. I've been on cloud nine since the proposal.
Oh,
Like,
dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, bro, congrats on being engaged. I'm excited for the wedding, bro. It's gonna be a great time. And the last question I have for you is: have you gotten used to calling her your fiance yet?
dude, not yet, honestly, but it's a temporary thing, like soon
True,
I'll get to
true.
call her my wife and it'll be badass.
Yeah, honestly, like quite soon. Like the turnaround's pretty
Yeah.
quick on this one, eh?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Yuki's my best man. So, and the
So
wedding's
honored,
coming
dude.
up not too long, but yeah, it'll be good, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Me too. It's gonna be a blast. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode. Hope you enjoyed the story of this very special and intimate time for Reggie and for me being involved with it. And we'll catch you guys next week. You've been listening to Modern Day Hippie. As you exit the portal, we have just one small ask of you. If you learned something new today, had a laugh, or resurfaced a drug story of your own, we want to hear about it. Drop us a comment on YouTube and show us some love on your favorite podcasting platforms. Internet algorithms really dog on us because of the topics that we discuss, so your support goes even further here than you might think. We'll catch you next week.